Hello, and thank you for joining me for Creating Your Small Food Business at the Sharegrounds Certified Kitchens. Hello, I'm Dr. Amanda Filial Perez. I'm a State Extension Specialist for Food Systems and Food Safety with the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the Sharegrounds Project, a certified kitchen and distribution center project where we have opened 3 of these sites around the state. I'll give you an overview of what you can do related to the Sharegrounds project if you're a farm or food business looking for an opportunity to really expand what you produce. So I'd first like to introduce you to our team. I'm Dr. Amanda Filial Perez here. I lead the local, regional, and safe foods team. I have with me Angela Gardner, who is our state program manager, Julia Fryer, who oversees our evaluation and record keeping for our program and helps our interns who are involved in our project report on our new grant. And I'll give you a little bit more information about that opportunity as we go along. Rip Weaver, who helps us with our marketing, communication, social media, and is working on the farm side, which I'll cover some opportunities for farmers as we get into the presentation. Dr. Natasha Curo, who is a postdoc as part of our program, and she has a background in microbiology and is helping us with understanding kind of the regulation, the food processing, and the microbiology side of food production. And then Lisa Brown, who is our administrative assistant, who helps us oversee all of the purchasing and planning for our program. And then we are in partnership with the Arkansas Food Innovation Center at the University of Arkansas Division of Ag in Fayetteville, where they have been doing food processing for a number of years. John Swinton helps direct that program and works directly with clients to create value-added food products. Dr. Renee Threlfall has been supporting the work of the Food Innovation Center for many years to help food businesses understand how to get their food concept off of the ground, understand what regulations, policies, procedures, and paperwork are required for that. And she is a co-PI on the grant that helped make this program possible. We also have support at the county level for 3 of our sites. We have county extension support team that's involved in our project, Leanne Bullington at Woodruff County, Les Walls at Cleveland County, Diane Clement at Cleveland County. And then we also have been working directly with clients through our site managers. And we currently have Valor Taylor Cobbins situated at our Woodruff County site and Dawn Kelly at our Searcy County site. And we currently do not have a site manager at our Risen site, but our program team offers support at that location. This work was made possible through a lot of partnerships over the years, working specifically with our county fair associations. So at all 3 of the sites that I'll share with you, our county fair association presidents have been involved and helped us to make this possible in their communities and to help us bring this as a resource to Arkansas farms and food businesses. The members of those fair associations have joined us in planning meetings over the last year and a half to make this project possible by working to renovate the kitchens and get them ready for creating value-added food products in those kitchens. We've also worked with a number of individuals from the communities in the 3 surrounding communities. County judges have supported our work, the chambers of commerce, local banks and other institutions, and news institutions have reported on the progress of our project. We've worked with farmers and food entrepreneurs and a lot of other agency and community support along the way. Our project was made possible with the support of the Arkansas Community Foundation. We've also partnered with the Arkansas Farm to School program and many other partners throughout the state. So what is the Sharegrounds? So let's get into it. Well, we had an opportunity to write for funding from the USDA Ag Marketing Service through the local food promotion program. We have funding that started in 2019 and goes through 2021. And the goal of this project in writing for the grant proposal was to increase rural access to value-added food production and to work with local farmers to aggregate local produce and expand opportunities for farms and food businesses in 3 counties and around the state. So we partnered with 3 county fairgrounds in Cleveland County, which is in Bryson, Arkansas, Searcy County, which is in Marshall, Arkansas, and Woodruff County, which is in McCoy, Arkansas. Woodruff County actually supports 3 counties and is known as the 3-County Fair Association. All 3 of these sites, we have worked to update the facilities to create value-added food production facilities where we can process foods into products, or we can aggregate produce to sell to other markets. So an overall goal of our program was to assist at least 15 food businesses with developing a value-added food product, and we're well on our way to doing that. So other goals: increase access to and consumption of local foods in Arkansas by expanding utilization and capacity of fairgrounds for aggregation, distribution, and value-added product development. Support local farms. Develop and expand opportunities for value-added food businesses. Foster the growth of regional food economies, and improve access to food in underserved communities and institutions. So how did this concept of the share grounds come to be? Well, I have worked in Arkansas over the last 15 years, working to support local and regional food systems development. I've had great partnerships with individuals involved in the Farm to School program across the state. I've worked really closely with those working on school health initiatives through the University of Arkansas College of Public Health at the UAMS Med Center. I've also worked with the Arkansas Department of Health on school health initiatives and access to healthy foods. And through all of that work over the last 15 years, I started realizing that a lot of the foods that we were looking for to sell in school programs or to increase access in communities or to bring to farmers market, that we really did not have as much produce as there was demand. And I started realizing how little of the food that we have at many of our institutions is Arkansas grown or Arkansas made. So over the years, I had an opportunity to work with many partners to work on establishing a food hub in a city center such as Little Rock or Fayetteville. But one of the challenges we faced is it was difficult to get farms to be involved. We didn't have access to buildings. We couldn't build the infrastructure because building in an urban setting a large food hub can be very expensive, time consuming, and difficult to get the resources through grant funding that you might need. We found it challenging to get the support that we needed to create a facility. And all of the partners were really dreaming really, really big, which equated to really, really expensive. And even though we tried for several years to get a food hub established in the city, we realized that it was really out of our reach because of the expenses and the infrastructure costs. And so I had been working through the cooperative extension as an educator, hosting extension meetings around the state, and started working in the counties to host meetings and found a site at fairgrounds to host public meetings. While being at those sites, I realized that fairgrounds had a lot of the infrastructure that we needed for food hubs. And food hubs really need kitchens and warehouses and spaces where you can, open through large doorways and move products in and out, gravel roads for big trucks to be on. And fairgrounds ended up being the perfect site. So I decided to get in touch with fair associations. I reached out to county extension agents, several of them, asked them to talk to their fair associations to see if anyone would be interested in developing a food hub at one of these sites. I also worked with the Arkansas Food Innovation Center at the University of Arkansas, recruited them to get on board to the possibility of creating 3 mini food innovation centers at county fairgrounds. Well, we were able to talk 3 communities into jumping on board to this project. So we wrote for funding and got grant funding from the USDA Local Foods Promotion Program. And we created the Share Grounds. So the Share Grounds Certified Kitchen and Distribution Centers located in Marshall, McCoy, and Risen really focus on produce aggregation, product and process development, value-added food production, and then regulatory assistance. So one of our sites is in Cleveland County, And you can see two images here. One is on the left, which is the kitchen that was in existence prior to us coming in and working on establishing a food manufacturing kitchen. So you can look and see that there were some improvements that needed to be made, like the ceiling, um, making sure that they had stainless steel tables instead of wooden tables, making sure that the walls were sealed so they could be washed and things like that, adding some equipment, some additional tables, ensuring that we had safe lighting with covers and things like that. So we were able to update the facility for about $15,000 through additional funds not supported by the USDA, but from funding from the local community and through a special grant through the Arkansas Community Foundation. And on the right side, you see here that we were able to update the facility to meet the requirements for a food manufacturing kitchen. The same was true in Woodruff County. We did a little bit more construction there where we were able to take down a wall to expand the kitchen and then put in all of the pieces that were needed for being in compliance with being a food manufacturing kitchen. The middle picture is us doing a tour after everything was complete. And then we had a trailer donated to us, a shipping container that we turned into a refrigerated trailer where we can store products in there. It also has a cool box system so that it can be a refrigeration system. The changes at the Woodruff County site were also provided by the Arkansas Community Foundation. The Searcy County site was probably one of our largest projects where we had the greatest community contribution. So we spent about $20,000 to update this kitchen, but they were able to convert it from the original space, as you see on the top left, into this much larger, expansive space you see on the right. So all three sites, you can see the counties highlighted here, Searcy, Woodruff, and Cleveland, have pretty significant population centers within a reasonable distance of the county. So 250,000 within 60, 70 mile distance of Searcy County. Within up to 71 miles, almost 5 million population. And then around Cleveland County, almost 500,000. So what services are offered through our Share Grounds project? Well, we help farms and food businesses with product development. So if you have a food concept, we can help you with recipe testing. We'll train you on how to use the equipment, how to process the food in a safe way, how to develop a nutrition label that meets the regulatory requirements. If you're interested in bringing in fresh produce that needs to be washed or bagged, we're able to rent the space to allow for washing, bagging, and storage. As you saw in one of our sites, we have cooling capacity, refrigerated areas at each of our 3 sites now. We can help with connecting to markets, so supply chain support. If you're looking for buyers, we have connections that we can help you with. But most importantly, we help you through the difficult part of understanding this state and federal regulation related to producing a food product. So there are a number of regulations that you'll have to understand and steps that you'll have to take to make sure that you can create a value-added food product. And our team can walk you through the full process for that. So product development. There are several pictures here on the right that are involved in product development. So having the proper equipment, knowing what ingredients you're going to put in, understanding how to properly prepare your product, having access to the right containers, and understanding how to do that. So we have access within our facilities to steam kettles, whole bark choppers, and other equipment that we've purchased for each of our 3 sites. Each of the 3 sites have similar equipment, but some sites are going to have different equipment based on the needs of the clients that we work with. And we still have some funding in our grant to purchase equipment based on food concepts that you may have if you decide to use our kitchen. We may be able to purchase some equipment to help you with your food concept. Recipe development. So we help with recipe development and food safety testing. So you may be interested in creating a salsa or something that needs to be refrigerated or something that has to be processed a certain way, well, we can look into what the ingredients are, what the cooking process would be, and then what you need to understand about the product to make sure that it's food safe. We also help you with where you might find some of the things, whether it's the produce that you want to put into your salsa, or if it's jars or labels or things like that. We can help you look for those items for your food product. We'll train you on how to use some of the equipment so that you properly use a kettle or a Hobart chopper. And then we'll help you understand what the requirements are for the nutrition labeling. So, in addition to the product development, we will work to some capacity to help you look for opportunities in the marketplace to sell your goods. So we'll make recommendations for understanding what's available to you. We can help you make some market connections if you're having difficulty with that. If you're interested in doing wholesale, farm to school, or other institutions, retail, restaurants, and others as identified. So we've got a list of stakeholders around the state that are interested in purchasing local, and we'll be happy to share, what's out there that we know about. So new opportunities. So we have a Southern Risk Management Education Center grant in addition to our USDA grant that was awarded this year to really work with clients to help them get their food concept off the ground. And we waive the fees that are normally associated with renting and using our facilities for the clients that are enrolled in this program. So we help clients understand how to create a food product, understanding the food safety requirements, regulations, and if the product has an economic potential. We offer one-on-one assistance with our project team, and we have 15 slots available to help clients. And so far, we've helped about 12 of those 15 slots. Those have been filled, and we've helped those clients work through concept, and they're working to move to production. We've hired interns to assist those clients with their startup process, and they take their food recipes to our food science department and work through the food concept to make sure that it's food safe. We've offered fee waivers for clients who are interested in using our kitchen for the time being. And you can learn more about our program and learn about our fees at our website. So, do you have a food concept or idea that you would love to turn into a product? Well, get in touch with us. You can learn more first about visiting our website at www.uaex.edu/sharegrounds, or call our team and ask to speak with someone regarding the sharegrounds at 501-671-2226. We hope that you will become part of our community and work on developing a food concept or working to move your produce through one of our 3 sites. So call us and let us know how we can be assistance to you. Thank you.